Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews unboxing. Today we're looking at one of the new warbands for Warcry, the Chaos Legionnaires. So first of all, massive thanks to Games Workshop for sending us these for free a little early to review and have a look at with you guys. In the video we're going to have a look at the sprues, look at the kit, see how it goes together, and then hopefully at the end of the video we'll have some of these built and painted so we can show you what they look like in the flesh. But yeah, this is one of the new warbands for the new edition of Warcry. We've also got the Heart of Ger new edition box video up as well, along with the Centurion and the compendium as well. So if you are into Warcry, there's a load of stuff up on the channel and on the website at the minute. So yeah, this is one of the new warbands, and I gotta say they look really cool. So in some of the leaked images of the Slaves to Darkness book a couple of months ago, we saw some really kind of blurry images of these, but these look really cool, and I think they'll fulfill a nice role in the Slaves to Darkness as a kind of different aesthetic. One of the cool things about these Warcry warbands is that obviously they've kind of replaced the Marauders, the kind of cultists, the weird different tribes, and it's nice to see different aesthetics go through them. So yeah, without further ado, shall we open these up and have a look at what they look like? So inside we've got the instruction manual, we'll have a look at that in a bit, and we've also got all the kind of card elements as well. As with all the Warcry sets, you get all the parts to kind of play them in the game, so we'll have a look at those in a little bit as well. First of all, we'll have a look at the frames. So let's have a look at these guys. There's some cool elements to these, looking at the artwork on the back of the box. This is the first time me seeing these in the flesh as well, as I'm filming this video. But based on the back of the box, there's some really nice stuff on here. Some kind of like samurai elements to the helmet, and kind of a much heavier armour than some of the other the Warcry warbands have got, which is really nice to see. You know, mixing up the different styles and aesthetics that we get across them. So these really do appeal for the kind of Chaos Roman Legionnaire vibe, I guess they're going for. If we have a look at the second frame as well, you see we've also got a range of different weapons and shields and all sorts of cool stuff. Now, a lot of these Warcry warbands do go together in a few different ways. It'll be a case of having a look at the actual like data cards and seeing what options you want to build. For a lot of the older warbands, really getting two boxes kind of gave you all the options. I think this only builds 7. I think there's 8. Oh no, this does build 8 of them. So maybe it does build all the variations. We'll see in a second when we get to the instructions. But yeah, looks like there's a lot of parts here. So let's put that to one side, move the bases out of the way, and we'll have a quick look at the instructions just to see how these guys go together and what options there are. So straight off the bat, we've got the leader model, which doesn't look like he's got any options, which is cool. Some of the other guys, so for example this guy, we've got a choice of 2 different weapons, so I imagine that will be an option within the War Scroll cards as well, of which weapon you want to give them. Now looking at it, you get a few different options to have the different weapons across the kit, so if you want a mix of everything, you might want to build a few with each weapon maybe. It looks like there's also a few different choices for helmets as well, if you do pick up a second box and want to add some variety to them. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like all these guys can be built with either the axe or the mace, so that's good to know. And again, these guys here, looks like you have a choice of 3 different weapons as well. And again, I assume there's 3 different models as well with that, so you can have one of each type. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, 8 models in total, and it looks like across the warband you are going to be able to give at least one of each weapon option as well, so that's pretty cool. So let's have a quick look at the cards and see what they look like in the game. So if we pop this open, now if I remember rightly from previous editions, we'll probably get a lot of cards for alternate languages in here. So we'll take the English ones out and we'll have a quick look at these. So, the Chaos Legionnaires in all their glory. We have a reaction, which is a new thing to the Heart of Gearbox. So, call to arms, a fighter can make this reaction when an enemy fighter ends their move action, visible to this fighter and within 3 inches of this fighter. Pick another friendly fighter within 3 inches of this fighter. That fighter makes a bonus move action. After that move action, the fighter must be within 1 inch of the enemy fighter that made the move action. Okay, fighters, a lot in that sentence, but basically you can do it when they get within 3 inches and somebody else can move in adjacent to them, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got their abilities there as well. So, double shield round until the end of the fighter's activation. The next time this fighter finishes a move action within 1 inch, pick a visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of this fighter and roll a dice. On a 4 to 5, allocate 1 damage point to the fighter. On a 6, allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability. That's cool. We've got a double Dark Pact. Pick a visible enemy fighter within 12 inches of this fighter. Roll a number of dice equal to the value of this ability. For each 3+, allocate 1 damage. After all the dice have been rolled, allocate D3 double damage points to this fighter. That's pretty cool. So you can do a load of damage but take some in return. Double Brutal Swing. So add half the value of this ability, rounding up to the damage points allocated by each critical hit from the next attack action. That's cool. Triple Headlong Charge. A fighter can use this ability only if they're within 2 inches of enemy fighter and have made 2 move actions this activation. The fighter makes a bonus attack with its spear. Triple, the True Master's Favour. The fighter can use this ability only if an enemy fighter has been taken down by an attack made by them this activation. Until the end of the battle round, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of melee attacks. Cool. And then Quad Wrath of the First Prince. These guys must work for Be'lakor then, that's interesting. The fighter makes a bonus attack action. In addition, a number of hits scored by that attack action equal to half the value of this ability rounded up become critical hits instead. For example, if the value of the ability was 6, 3 hits scored by the attack action would become critical hits instead. Okay, so they look cool. I'll have a quick look at the cards as well. So, quick flick through these guys here. And again, we've got all the different options for weapons. So it may be that you want to build one of each weapon option in the box to give you the variety. Obviously you might want to specialise in a certain weapon, but you do get the if this wants to focus, the cards for each of those weapon options as well. So yeah, you've got quite a bit of variety in how you put together the kind of warbands in Warcry, which is nice to see. So yeah, they look pretty cool. So what we'll do, we'll skip to the future and we'll have a look at the assembled miniatures. And here's a look at the assembled Chaos Legionnaires. This is such a nice kit and I've really enjoyed working on these. Didn't quite manage to get them fully finished in time for the video. Some of the black detail and the highlighting and the kind of brass trim I need to finish off on these. But they are just stunning models. With them being battle line, I'm tempted to make these the core of a Be'lakor-led Slaves to Darkness army. Obviously in the lore these guys are Be'lakor's mortal followers, so I think it'd be quite cool to have an army kind of built around this and some of the newer Warcry kits. So we know there's a Slaves to Darkness release coming in December, I think it's out, and alongside it there's some new kits as well, so I think these guys may go in a fledgling Slaves to Darkness Be'lakor army. But yeah, they're really nice. If we take a look at some of these, I'll just bring them in front of the camera so you can see them a little bit better. The detail on them is really, really nice. Now I base coated these grey, but you can probably get away with doing a metal or a black just because a lot of the armour, certainly on the more heavily armoured guys, so the guys on the 32mm bases, really you just have like the kind of corset kind of bit to paint up in the kind of burgundy colour. I've actually used 2 different tones of metal on this as well, just because I wanted to kind of, with there being so much metal on the model, I wanted to kind of differentiate it. If we pull forward one of the other guys, so this guy for example, you can see the kind of like metallic-y kind of chainmail bits, the axe and the kind of actual armour plates of his armour are different colours, just to try and break it up a little bit to make it interesting. because I thought it might kind of merge all together if it was all the same shade of metal. And obviously there's a bit of work to do on him. There's an awful lot of rivets on the kind of like chest plate on them all, so that'll be a long job picking those out, but it'll be well worth the effort because they're really, really nice models. So you've got the kind of like, this guy's not a beastman, but he looks very beastman-like. He's kind of got like hooves, a bit more of a kind of beastman pose to him. These guys are all nice. I basically built it so I've got one of each weapon option for the Warcry Warband, just because I like to have the options in, and then after playing a few games, when I find out what works, I can pick up another box and maybe build, you know, so I've got a few varieties of each weapon to kind of like maximise the Warband. But honestly, for putting this together, I just wanted to make sure I had all of the different options represented. If we pull one of the kind of like cannon fodder guys on, they're slightly smaller, they're less heavily armoured, they've got kind of like trousers and boots on that I haven't got to paint yet on this guy, and they're on 28mm bases, so they're a little bit smaller. By the time this video comes out as well, I believe there are rules for these up on Warhammer Community for using them in games of Age of Sigmar 2. So that's pretty cool. Like I say, I think they are a battle line choice too, so that's pretty cool if you do play the game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a few more boxes of these, and like I say, putting together the battle line for a new Slaves of Darkness army. So yeah, we've also got a video for the Centurion Marshal up today, so check that out, along with the new Age of Sigmar battle box and the new rule book for the Horus Heresy Aeronautica Imperialis. So if you're interested in any of those, videos available today for them too. I've also done full written reviews for all those posts too over on spruesandbrews.com. For these guys, I'll have pictures of the sprues, I'll have a write-up of the rules, and again what they do in Age of Sigmar 2. So if you are interested, check that out. And finally, if you have enjoyed this video, why not give us a follow? We do lots of unboxings and videos like this. We'll soon be doing some battle reports and painting videos again. It's been a little time since we've been able to have them. I've been kind of between houses, so as soon as I've got my studio set up again, we'll be able to do that properly, but that is coming soon, hopefully in the next month or so. But yeah, until next time, I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.